know what it's like to struggle with the forward cast. I've got my left hand that really keeps me on my toes.
My weaker, less coordinated left hand casting a guideline lacy 13-foot 7-inch with a Beulah arrowhead line and a long mono leader.
Seems like on paper, since I'm a right-handed person and I'm pulling with my bottom hand and supposedly applying all that power, which I'm much stronger right-handed than left-handed, you would think that would be my most powerful cast. I really struggle with it to get it the loop shape I want, to get the power I want, the narrow, tight, pointy loops. It takes me all kinds of time in practice, and then I come back after practice. See, that's just an open loop. So, and you'd think, since we use so much bottom hand, my right bottom hand would be able to provide all the energy that I need and all the strength. That was better. And the reason that loop was better, I used my body for power and my bottom hand. So I lengthened the stroke by rocking back, and you'd be surprised how much power you can get by pushing off with that back leg and putting your body into it. So if I lengthen my stroke going back and then pull bottom hand and push, my shoulders going forward, my hands going forward, my hands trying to bend the rod, but there's kind of a disconnect. I just can't get it with really shorter lines. Long lines, it's easier. It just seems like with a long line, I can just rear back and throw my hands down. But with these medium to short lines, you know, and just unless it's just underhand totally and I'm just giving it that shot, that's fine. See, get going a little bit longer line, trying to cast further, trying to cast into the wind where I need power. It's just not that tight. But one thing to remember though is it might not be as much your forward cast as that you don't have the energy in your D loop. That's what I find sometimes. You know, I just got a kind of lazy D loop. And you can have a kind of lazy D loop if your anchor's really light. See, that wasn't too bad. So you got to have a light anchor, and it helps to have an energized D loop that's flat. See, that was pretty good because I had plenty of pep in my D loop because of pretty powerful sweep. But you can also, if that's not your thing, make sure you have a super light anchor. You might try, like on a touch and go cast, you might cast right before the anchor lands. Very light anchor, just the leader. See there, the fly line was this far off the water when I decided to throw it, and that cast jumped off the rod, and that's left-handed. So the diagnosis might not be that it's my coordination or power. It might be I'm not getting a perfectly light anchor. So if you watch your anchor and cast before it lands. See, that kind of, you heard the line pop. Try casting before it lands. See, that had a lot more energy because I, you know, It was really high off the water when I threw it. Same with waterborne cast. Peel with a lot of energy and with a steep angle. See, even I did that, and then
even though the anchor was a little too far upstream.
So try steeper peel, a little more energy. See, that was a really tight, good loop. That was a really tight loop. It had a ton of energy and a ton of power. And I swept really hard and at a steep angle. Don't try to sweep too fast and flat. That I see more guys, including me, doing that. And sometimes it just does not work. You just have to have faith you're not going to blow your anchor. Go higher, steeper, and more powerful. See, now it's flying off there, because you can't be afraid of blowing an anchor. I'm not saying to blow your anchors. I'm just saying, see how much of a energetic sweep you can do in big D loop, and see how much you can get away with. Boom, that was good. Okay, I really gave her the onion, steep angle, tried to blow the anchor, and it was far from blowing the anchor. If you lack power on your forward stroke, make sure you have an ultralight anchor. Make sure you have a powerful, or at least a fully developed D-loop with your anchor. Just go for the nice light anchor, powerful D-loop. And on touch and go, anticipate that anchor landing and cast before it does. See, that time it was like way off the water, and I threw it, and lo and behold, it touched down and jumped off of there. That's just super cool. Okay, now I'm casting better because I made sure, went through the checklist. Big D-loop, light anchor, casting before the line lands, sometimes long before the line lands, and suddenly my forward stroke isn't as much as the issue as I thought it was. So, problem solved.